John chapter 7 and verse 18 says, He that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory, but he that seeketh his glory that sent him, the same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him. I want to give our praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahushai Bahashem, Harakah, Quadash, giving double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutes to all 144,000 elect out there. We are coming back at you with another lesson. Go and get into some of the John 7. So the simplicity of the truth. Just teach the word. Just teach the word. Something to that effect I'm going to entitle this video. Because 2 Corinthians, let's go to 2 Corinthians, just to back up what I just said. 2 Corinthians chapters 11 and verses, let's read it in verse 3 here. The point, the title of the video says, But I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in a Mashiach. The simplicity that is in a Mashiach. Apostle Paul's writing. Yeah, Paul defends his apostleship. You know, when he goes on to say in 2, it says, For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy, for I have espoused you to one husband. Espouse you to one husband, that I may present you as a chaste virgin to a Mashiach. That godly jealousy that Apostle Paul makes mention of to the Corinthians, because they was espoused, yeah, Yahshua Allah, right, the elect of the elect, espoused to their husband, which is Yahushua, Mashiach. So he had that godly jealousy, that fear, that godly jealousy that he speaks about in 2. So that he was worried that that's. But I fear lest, I'll read it again. But I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in a Mashiach. Right? That simplicity that is in a Mashiach. Just teach the word. Changing up doctrines. We know of what the UIC have been doing and are continuing to keep doing. Yeah. Nate, Nathaniel, brothers have put up videos about him running in the Passat, just making it into some kind of elaborate affair, whereas it's supposed to be a solemn assembly. You know, making it into some kind of elaborate affair, running through, and brothers are breaking it down. You know, like some kind of you know, what they call those things, those the aftermath of the Olympics or before. It's like like they're celebrating something even before it's been done. You know, when they take that they run through the stadium, they take that massive torchlight, they run it round first, and then they run it up, and then they light the Olympics big torchlight, and then there's all the holy for dancing and celebrating and gymnastics and somersaults and making things, you know, make it into a drama and a dramatic affair, an entertaining affair, when we know the Passat, the Passover, is a solemn affair, and right now we're behind enemy lines, and we ain't really got nothing to celebrate about, as far as this kingdom anyway. But we do look forward to being in our own kingdom, and that's where the affairs and taking part of the wine. Yahushua made mention of that in Matthew 26. He said he will not drink of the vine until he's with his elect. Loosely paraphrasing, Yahushua said that you're not going to take part of drinking of the vine, which is the wine, until his elect are saved and with him. Right? That's that godly jealousy that has espoused to our husband. Right? The elect, the wife of Yahushua, espoused to our husband. that's when we're going to be reunited with our husband. Yashua, the tender woman, right? The elect of the elect, the tender woman espoused to her husband, Yahushua. And that's when it's going to be a celebration, a celebration. And I'll leave it with that. I'll leave it there. But now I want to just get into some of the words. Abu Razar, we can come back to the blue letter. Simplicity. We looked at that. The Most High was Yahushua made mention of the simplicity, or Apostle Paul made mention of the simplicity. And yeah, you could even include Yahushua when he was known for his he wasn't known for his elaborate, eloquent speech. He wasn't an eloquent speaker. He could have been, but he used many simple ways of speaking, like sequelies and those yeah, what they call him what they call it? You see, mine's just gone, he's gone for a minute. But let me just carry on here. Simplicity, clarity. Right, this is what Yahushua used. Clarity. Right, things that people could relate to. Examples of the wheat, the chaff and the wheat. Had a, you know, when Yahushua come back, he's going to separate them. The weeds and the wheat, things that farmers could relate to. Other one that come to mind is the mustard seed. Yeah, he that has faith as the size of a mustard seed has great faith. Mustard seeds, things that people could understand and relate to. You understand? So he used simplicity, clarity, right? Plainness, simpleness, intelligibility. And just because people may choose to be simple or use simple speech doesn't make them simple. Let's not get that mixed up. Doesn't make them simple people. The most intelligent people, the most deep people have a way of speaking to clarify things so that something that could be conceived as being deep is plain and easy for even a baby to understand or a young person to understand. Right? Comprehensibility, understandability. There you go. Because me and a brother we was talking a little bit about that. Right? The simplicity of the truth. It's not about being deep and coming off as deep. Because as we looked at, let's go to that. Let's go back to John 7 and I ain't saying that I've got it all mastered, because it's there's an art to it. That's an art. That's an art. Let's just read this. John 7 and 15. And the Jews marveled, saying, How knoweth this man letters having never learnt? Right? And we know he was in the temple. Yahushua was in the temple at 12 years old, breaking it down to the Pharisees and the Sadducees, breaking it down to the scribes, lettered men, learned men. He was breaking it down to them, and you just know he was doing it in such a clear, precise, simple way. And it's saying here, and the Jews marveled, saying, How knoweth this man letters having never learnt? Right? Blowing their minds, man. Right? They marveled, it says they marveled. How knowing this man and his knowing this man letters having never learned. How knoweth this man letters? See, he didn't have no letters, no degrees, no Lord Chancellor, all those titles that they have in the House of Commons. Sir Lord Chancellor Deacon and Sir Lord Chancellor Dickens and titles. Lord this, Lord that. So they marveled, right? Yahushua. Right? And he broke it down to them. Reading on. Yahushua answered them and said, This is how he did it. My doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. That's how you do it. Right? You really want to teach, just teach the word. In the most simple way you can. So that everybody can get it. Right? Not just so-called intelligent people. Like I say, there's an art to it. And we've got the blueprint, Yahushua. Right? We've got the blueprint to look at. Yahushua, man. So we look to try and improve on our ways of teaching, our different ways of teaching. Oh, because he used illustrations. It's just come back to me. Yahushua, what you Christians call Jesus, was good at using illustrations, simple, so that people can understand. Simple illustrations. Yeah, reading on. 17. If any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine, whether it be of God or whether I speak of myself. There you have it. Yeah, just teach the word. The blueprint is given to us already. Follow the blueprint. The blueprint. Take your time, right? Because that's what I'm saying. There's an art to it, making things that could be complicated simple, so that everybody can understand. And the elect gon' get it anyway. Doesn't matter if it is complicated. The elect gon' get it. But that's not the idea. The idea is to break things down in simple terms, so that most people will get it. Yeah. 18. He that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory. That's typical of the East. These are we call these people masterminds, people with master degrees and all kind of degrees in the Harvard universities, the Oxford and Cambridge. They use big words on purpose because they want to appear clever, right? And they seeketh their own glory. But he that seeketh his glory that sent him, right? He that seeketh the Most High's glory that sent him, right? Just teach the word. The same is true, and is no unrighteousness in him, because he just teach the word. Abu Razar, let me get on that, put that in my mind as a goal. Abu Razar, something to meditate on for all of it, all of us. There is an art to it. We have the blueprints, the most powerful speakers. There's another one that just come to mind. Stephen. So that they said that his words were powerful. Stephen, the one that was stoned by Saul, Apostle Paul, when his name was Saul, he was a powerful speaker, right? He had the power of motivation. What would they call that? There's a word for it. The common touch. People have heard that being said. The common touch, being able to speak where most people can relate to what you're saying. The gift of speech, and it's not just about using big words. If you sometimes need to, then that's all right too. But it's not the point. It's using simplicity and simple terms, so that you're not giving glory to yourself because of your accolades. You have accolades to your name, Sir Lord so and so, and you have letters. And if you do have, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that if you do have. But as long as you're speaking the word to glorify the Most High, and we're not glorifying ourselves. But he that seeketh his glory that sent him, the same is true, and there is no unrighteousness in him. Right? So we to the best of our ability, we just keep it simple and teach the word. And there is an art to it. We looked at that word, let's get back to it. Clarity, clearness. So if you're making yourself clear, that's a beautiful thing. Making ourselves clear to the best of our ability. Let's look it up again. An example. Simplicity. A simplicity person, meaning the state of being simple, uncomplicated. That's the example. Or uncompounded. There you go. Right? Young children, they have that ability. Innocence. But that's the point though. The state of being simple and uncomplicated. Being able to have the ability. Like I say, there's an art to it, and it's a goal to keep working on. If you find that a struggle, if you have, when you are young, you have that innocence, but when you become growing up, you pick up habits and other people's habits, and all these high learned people. Martin Luther King was an eloquent speaker. Well, for the most part, it wasn't really that complicated. You could understand what he was saying. What's the other one? Some of them. Louis Farrakhan, I would say he's eloquent. He's good with words. But it's not about just being good with words. It's about being clear and clear and simple so that people can understand. Malcolm X, eloquent speaker. I wouldn't say it was too complicated. Just some examples. You can be the judge of them, but some of them were quite complicated. Some of them were quite clear. I didn't find Martin Luther King. Um, he was juiced in, but he had a way with words. But sometimes the best speakers, like I say, just using them as an example, the best speakers are the ones that make things plain and easy and uncomplicated to understand. Simplicity, I tapped it in meaning here. It says the quality or condition of being easy to understand. Boom. Enough said on that. The quality of being easy to understand. Clearness, plainness, simpleness. Right now, etymology. Then we're gonna get back to the blue letter, and we're gonna end off. So singleness of a nature, simplicity. From the French, simplicate, something like that. From the Latin, simplicatant, something to that effect. The state of being simple, frankness. There you go, frankness. People like people that are frank with them. Come on, just tell me straight. I know you're gonna, brothers may when we talk to each other. Come on, I wanna, you know, tell me plain and straight, man. Don't beat around the bush. Just tell me plain and straight. The typical Benjamites. That's how they do their thing, and Judites as well. And for the most part, all the tribes. Just tell them straight, man, and they appreciate it. Beat around the bush thing. You know what I mean? They call that call a spade a spade. Tell them straight. That's how brothers talk to each other, and that's the goal, to be with each other. With love, accompanied with love. Frankness accompanied with love. Not frankness to belittle people, because that's what some people do too. Frank because they like to belittle people and put people down with straight talk and big words. That's not the idea. Frank because you love your brother. Right? Frankness and openness, alertness, directness, accompanied with love. The blueprint was Yahushua. Not the sense of it goes on here, the sense of arrogance. No, not with arrogance. Like I say, some people are frank because they use that as another way to belittle people, and because of arrogance. That's not the idea. Arrogant people don't really seek to bring people up and gain people. They arrogant people, when they're frank, they look to belittle people and lose people, put people down. No, that's not it. That's not it. Right? But Yahushua, what did he say? We're going to get back to that. We made the point here. Simplicity, openness, right? Frankness, we accompanied with love. Well, you look at the way how Yahushua spoke with his disciples. For the most part, my yoke is light, my load is light, my yoke is light. Come to me, those who are all toiling and loaded down. When he was speaking in that setting, that's what he was saying. In that setting, he was saying, come to me, all you are loaded and toiled down by this kingdom, this system, by the ease. I will refresh you. My load is light and my yoke is light. Frankness, that's how he was being frank, but accompanied with love. Yeah? So don't get it mixed up. Don't get it complicated. Keep it simple. Enough said. Yeah, so that's the point there. That's all the point I really wanted to say, man. What did he say to the apostles, to the Pharisees? Back to John 7:15 says, and the Jews marveled, saying, how knoweth this man letters, having never learned? And here's the answer. Yahushua answered them and said, my doctrine is not mine, but his that sent me. Just teach the word that is being given to us. Try not to elaborate too much. Yes, we are lively people, that's true, and we do sometimes embellish. We don't need to embellish it when when it calls to be frank and simple and clearness and be frank with your brother. You don't need to embellish nothing or exaggerate or add anything or take away anything. The scriptures say, not to add, not to take away, man. 17. If any man will do his will, he shall know of the doctrine. That's how you know. You look at Yehoshua, the blueprint. You use illustrations, clear and simple for people to understand. Mustard seed, frankincense and myrrh. What's the other ones? Grapes in the vine tree. Them kind of like simple farmer terminologies. Um, uh, the fruits. What's the fruits, man? There's a lot. It's not even coming to my mind at the moment. But simple for people to understand. Mustard seed terminologies, the weeds and the wheat. Yahushua come and go and separate them. The vine, representing the wine. And there's a lot more others too. Yeah, so people understood those, especially in those days, the days of farming, where farming was your livelihood for most people. Grapes, mustard seed, all those things, man. Things that you got in your kitchen now. Some brothers, with the herbs and all them things, Reading on in John 7 and 18. He that speaketh of himself seeketh his own glory. Right? So we seek to gain our brothers with love and humility. Right? Not to bring attention to ourselves. To gain our brothers. And even if you use big words, even if you do, right, use big words, you do it not to lose the brothers, not to confuse them, but to bring them in and to gain them. Right? To gain your brothers with love. Speaking of himself, seeking his own glory, because we're not seeking to glorify ourselves or to separate ourselves, to put ourselves on a higher level, a higher plane. No, we look to gain our brothers, right, with love. But he that seeketh his own glory that sent him, the same is true, and there is no unrighteousness in him. And you seek to gain your brothers, man, and to do the will of the Lord. Just teach the word. Right? That's the blueprint Yahushua laid for us. We hear that. We hear that from our elders and our apostles as well. Just teach the word. The same is true, and no unrighteousness is in him. Right? That's how you really want to glorify the name and not bring glory to yourself. As a matter of fact, we won't go into some of these words here. That's what I'm kind of curious about. Some of the translation. He that speaketh from himself seeks his own glory, but he who seeks the glory of the one who sent him is true, and no unrighteousness is in him. NKJV. Now NLT. Those who speak for themselves want glory only for themselves, and he who exalts himself shall be humbled. Going back to IUIC again, man. But it ain't gonna end up well for them. For those that are, for those, if there's any elect in the IUIC or any of these other camps for that matter, they're gonna come out of there. They're gonna look at the bad examples, the bad fruits, the ones that are trying to elevate themselves and separate themselves from them, bringing glory to themselves. They're gonna say that ain't right, and I'm gonna leave. They're gonna leave. Elders do say that there's a good chance that in IUIC there's the purple people that in the IUIC elders have said and apostles have said there's, by the way, through what they can see, they possibly elect that are in there, and they're gonna come out of there, yeah, because they're gonna see the hypocrisy, yeah, and that's not a good example. I'm not that. I'm quite new in the truth, and I was looking at that. The Passat of the IUIC Passover, and I was not impressed. And it's not even about me. It's how does Yehoshua see it? How would Yehoshua be doing that if he was there? Of course not, man. What did he do? He came on an ass, right? And he came from a poor part of town too. He came on an ass, man. And so, and we looked at the example of the way he taught. He taught not of himself, bringing in different doctrines, right? What they talk about, oh, after 1,000 years, the E's are gonna be gonna come back and try and fight for their kingdom again after the 1,000 years. Um, Other things like the name, they don't bring the name, they don't use the name. They say they use the word um, Christ. They don't use the name in the Hebrew, yeah, Yahweh Shai. So these are the things, man. These are the things that are changing the doctrine. That's another way of bringing glory to yourself, right? And that's what a lot of people do. Once they've been among GMS and they leave or they get kicked out, they start to concentrate and look to themselves and change up the doctrine, which is just another way of putting yourself on a pedestal and separating yourself and saying I'm better, and belittling others, bringing glory to yourself. So I say we have good examples. The Most High gave us good examples, and the Most High gave us bad examples. Again, those who are in the IUIC, the purple camp, you're going to look at the bad examples, those who are sincere, and they're going to say this ain't right, and they're going to leave. Like some of us may have done who came out of Christianity. Like I myself did. I was in Christianity, Jehovah's Witness for over 20 years, man. And I saw a whole list of things that I knew that it eventually hit me. I was watching the brothers online, and I said, yeah. I made a comparison, and I said, I'm out of there. That was Christianity, Jehovah's Witness. But that was the Spirit of the Lord anyway. So I'll give him the glory for that, for opening up my pineal gland. Wada Yahweh, Wada Yahushua. So we're going to end it off now. So NLT says, those of John 7 and 18 says, those who speak of themselves want glory only for themselves. But a person who seeks to honor the one who sent him speaks truth, not lies. Dawada. You can't make this up. That was beautiful. Dawada Yahweh, Dawada Yahushua. So one word here now. Seeketh his glory. His glory. 2 words. G1391. His glory. And then that's the point we want. Opinion, judgment, view. So it's not about our opinions. It's not about even our views. When it comes down to this word, just teach the word. Yeah? A thing belonging to Yahweh. Because it don't belong to us, it belongs to Yahweh. We've entered unto other men's labours too. Brother elders make a point of that. We've entered unto other men's labours. It's not our duty to change it up. Right? The King Majesty which belongs to him as supreme ruler, majesty in the sense of absolute perfection. Enough said on that. There you go. A thing belonging to Yahweh Shai. This doesn't belong to us. It belongs to Yahweh Shai. We've entered unto other men's labours. Just teach the word. Keep it simple. I think that's what I'm going to title this video. Just teach the word. Keep it simple. Is that all I wanted? Yeah. Speak of his own glory. Just teach the word. Keep it simple. So we're going to end with that. One more. Just teach the word. The wada to Yahweh Shai. Putting the Spirit on me to do this video. We will end with this one again. Back to it. The word we want. Yahushua preach to receive the Spirit which you have received of another gospel which ye have not accepted. You might well bear with it. That's it. So let's read this again. 3:11. 2 Corinthians 11 and 3 says, but I fear lest by any means as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in Yahushua. Because I listen to brothers, even our elder brothers over here, London, and I for the most part, I get most of, it's not complicated. Brothers break it down. Elders, big brothers, our elders, our big brothers, they break it down something that couldn't be considered complicated. If you go back to the Christian church, some things a lot goes over your head in the Christian church, man. You may be young or just people just come from a certain background, complicated, you know, so-called lettered people, higher learned people, and they ain't bringing glory to the Most High. They're bringing glory to themselves, saying, "Look at me, look what I can do, look what I can use these big elaborate words, dress up in them suit, expensive suit, and with their phallic symbol on their ties, bringing attention to themselves, and they're, you know." So it's not what it's about. That's what a lot of people were doing in the Christian church. But when you come to the truth now, it's a different thing. The brothers, most of them you can relate to them. Down to earth elders, down to earth brothers, you know. Some of them very down to earth, so it's so plain and understandable for you. And that's the spirit of the Lord. He spoke about that in Acts 4, you know. The men that he spoke of, he's were fishermen, just common men, you know, working class, common men, making it plain and straight for us to understand. Let's read on here. For if he that cometh preacheth another Yahushua, whom we have not preached, right? Or if we receive another spirit which ye have not received, another gospel which ye have not accepted, you might well bear with him. Right? We don't want, we reject all that. Right? We reject all the other gospels, and we only go through Yahushua with the example what we looked at in John 7. Just teach the word, keep it simple. So I want to get into this and we're going to end it. The word simplicity, and that's the point. Simplicity, we looked at the word in Google, J57 and 2. See? Simplicity, and that's what it is. Virtue of one who is free from pretense and hypocrisy. That's it. That's all I needed. Yeah, sincerity. Sincerity, it says there, honesty, mental honesty, the virtue of one who is free from pretense and hypocrisy. Not self-seeking, open of heart. There you have it. Open of heart. Free from pretense and hypocrisy. So that's all I wanted to bring out. The Wadati Yahweh, the Wadati Yahweh Shemil Shai, putting the spirit on me to do this video. Right? Just teach the word. Just teach the word and keep it simple. Apostle Paul said it best. Apostle Paul said it best. Yeah? For I fear lest by any means as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety, so your mind should be corrupted from the simplicity that is in a Mashiach. That's the word. Free from pretense and hypocrisy. Free from pretense and hypocrisy. Just teach the word and keep it simple. We on to the next. Shalom.